Honestly, I don't give a about her condition. She helped Epstein acquire all these young women into going into to this island to be sexually abused.
Following some breaking news for you now. The attorney for convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell says his client is willing to testify in front of Congress, but there is a catch. So we want to bring in CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen. He's following this from Washington. Okay, we'll testify before lawmakers, but a catch. What is the catch?
There are a couple, Reed. The first of which is that they want full immunity in front of this committee in case this testimony happens to unearth any new developments that could potentially be incriminating for Miss Maxwell. In a letter that was sent to Congressman James Comer, who heads the Republican-led Oversight Committee, which subpoenaed Maxwell last week, Attorney David Marcus, who represents Maxwell, said that they want immunity first. They would like to see any kind of questions that are asked of her ahead of time because of, quote, torturous conditions and an unconstitutional detention is what they've been arguing. They also say that any conversations would also likely need to happen after Maxwell's SCOTUS appeal is finalized. That is not going to happen for a number of months, likely until potentially late this fall or the end of this year. And in addition to that, Reed, they also don't rule out the possibility of testimony earlier if President Trump commutes Maxwell's sentence or potentially pardons her, saying that, of course, under those circumstances, they would be willing to kind of leave what we just discussed aside and come to the table earlier. This deposition was supposed to happen on August 11th, and it looks increasingly likely that that is not going to happen.
All right, and I'm also reading they're saying Miss Maxwell did not receive a fair trial. How are they making that argument?
That's right. In the initial trial for Maxwell, there was a conversation under Jeffrey Epstein's first plea agreement in which he made with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Florida, in which attorneys in that office who led that investigation promised Epstein in 2007, when he came to that agreement, that no co-conspirators would be charged if he accepted that deal, which he did. However, a separate investigation was started in the Southern District of New York in New York City, in which the charges against Epstein later obviously resulting in his incarceration and then suicide, and Maxwell's now guilty conviction and now prison sentence. They argue that because that promise was made in Florida by a U.S. attorney, it should have applied to the new investigation, and where that resulted in Maxwell's conviction. Certainly there was some buy-in from a judge upon appeal, and the Supreme Court is going to have to sort out whether it is the case that it's possible that promises like that are actually, more than just a handshake agreement that the government can pull back on, or a binding agreement that should have applied to Maxwell and her conviction.
Honestly, I don't give a about her condition. She helped Epstein acquire all these young women into going into to this island to be sexually abused. I mean, she should not get pardoned at all from the president. I don't think a shorter sentence justifies. I mean, she needs to just admit the truth. She's gonna be in jail for 20 years. Started to make me think that for all these years that she could have came out to talk to her attorney and say, hey, I want a retrial, I want to speak, I have something to say, but I want to make a deal. Why is it until now, when the American people have been pushing the administration to release these Epstein files, because that's what Trump promised before he became president, and now that he's president, everybody's waiting. And now, Maxwell, she's in prison looking at the news, and I'm pretty sure she's hearing about what's going on, about how the American people want this information. And now is her moment, her time to shine, to throw everybody under the bus that was part of this huge, crazy thing that I feel will still not get disclosed to the American people. I feel like there's way too many rich, powerful people that went to that island that could probably cripple our system of government, in my opinion. That's what I really believe. Because if it was something that could have just took out some, billionaires and threw them under the bus, and it would have been fine for this country to sustain itself. but for something to be so secretive and so secret squirrel, and Trump and his whole administration doing a whole 180 on talking about exposing, you know, the list, and now we're all left wondering why aren't you, we're waiting, like what the hell. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out everybody.